Dear learners and listeners, a very warm welcome to all of you listening to this session. Today, we will be discussing National Human Rights Commission complaint mechanism. So we have understood, that we have a Protection of Human Rights Act, which was amended in 2019, and we have also seen that, if your human rights are violated, you can approach these commissions at the central level and the state level. But people have a question as to, if I am a citizen of India or a human being and my human rights are violated, how do I go or approach these commissions? What is a procedure which I should follow to approach these commissions? Because the commissions also take suo motu actions, but if your human rights are violated and this has not been reported in the media, the commission is not aware about this kind of human right violation. In cases of human trafficking, when trafficking happens in closed border areas, at places, where you are confined, where your movement is also restricted, sometimes you are not the citizen of that country. Many a times, you are uneducated, you are vulnerable, so you don't know your rights. How will you know about a commission like National Human Rights Commission or the State Human Rights Commission or Women Commission, Children Commission, Disability Commission, then backward SC/ST commissions? So till you are aware about your rights, till you are aware about these commissions, you will not be able to approach these commissions in case of human rights violation. So today we will understand how can you file a complaint if your rights are violated. The National Human Rights Commission was set up on 12th October 1993 under the Protection of Human Rights Act. This legislation was passed by the Parliament. The mandate of the Commission is to work for the promotion and protection of human rights by spreading awareness about them and taking cognizance of complaints of human rights violation. So first is that the Commission has to create awareness about human rights. Till you are aware about your human rights, your dignity rights, the different legislations which protect your dignity rights, you will never go to the court of law or to these commissions. So awareness is one thing, and then if any complaint is filed, then the commission has to take cognizance of such complaints. The denial of impediments, whether in public, private sector, in realization of constitutional rights to life, liberty, equality, dignity, and the issues related to the benefits of government welfare schemes and the policies become the matter of human rights violation for which the NHRC can be approached for remedy. Similarly, for these issues, the state human rights commissions can also be approached by the people of India. So, if the public or private sector people are not doing their duties, so if there is a commission or omission, so if they are not doing their duties, that is an omission. If they are doing something which is violating your law, which is your right, which is violating your right to life, dignity, liberty, equality, or any of these rights, then you can approach the commission. Then every government has some welfare schemes for the people. So at the state level and the central level, there are a lot of schemes and programs for the people of India. So if these policies and programs do not reach you because of, corrupt officers, or because of inaction, or corruption, or maybe transparency issue at a local level, then you can approach these commissions for remedy. The NHRC is a recommendatory quasi-judicial and autonomous body having powers of a civil court, which we have just discussed, that it has a power of a civil court. The recommendations are not binding, but when it gives, the NHRC is doing some inquiry and it gives you a report. When I say you, it is to the central government, to state government. Then within a reasonable time, or the time which has been mentioned in the report, you have to give your views on what are the recommendations you have followed, or you are taking those recommendations for future course of action. So you just cannot sit on the NHRC reports and say that in a welfare state, in the 5th generation of human rights, you do not have means and resources to have a value to these reports. So it can call for any document and summon any person in a case of human rights violation. Its recommendations in a case of human rights violations are twofold. First is relief to the victim. It talks about compensation to the victim, or relief to the victim, and punishment to the guilty. So we have two-way approach of NHRC. First is that immediate relief to the victim should be given, so that it can be in the form of interim relief, it can be in the form of compensation, it can be in the form of immediate action, and the guilty should be punished. Issues on which complaints can be registered with the NHRC. So we will see that if you want to approach NHRC, then what are the issues which can attract the attention of National Human Rights Commission. For not taking lawful action by the authorities in police, administration, and other government departments on complaint related to the issues, some of which are as follows. So, if the government authorities who are duty bound to do certain things are not acting properly, or they are not doing their duties, or they are supposed to do something but they are not doing that. In cases of public distribution system, if there is negligence, or if there are some issues because of that you are not able to get the benefits of the policies and schemes of the government, then you can go to NHRC. So these are the few examples: unlawful detention, false implication, custodial violence, illegal arrest, other police excesses. So we have seen that community policing does not have these issues, but where you do not have community policing, people are not aware about their rights, then in cases where unlawful detention is there, false implication is there, custodial violence is there, somebody has been illegally arrested, or any form of atrocity is there, then you can approach National Human Rights Commission. Encounter deaths, custodial deaths in police prison custody, harassment of prisoners. In this case also you can approach NHRC. And when I say you can approach, your family members can also approach. Anybody who knows about this information can also approach, which we will discuss later. Harassment of prisoners, including their detention beyond the period of their punishment, unlivable jail condition. Bail as a matter of right is a debatable issue. Then we have provisions wherein you have open jail system, because we want the reformation of that person, we want the rehabilitation of that person. So the intention of punishing the person is not to end his life, but to reform that person, to reintegrate that person in the society. So if the jail conditions are not good and the jail conditions are violating his dignity rights, then the family members can approach to NHRC. Atrocities on SC, ST and denial of their dues under social welfare schemes, including land pattas. A very important concept, because we have seen that we have these legislations for the vulnerable people. Even for women and children, we have a lot of legislations, including SC and ST and disabled people. But somehow, we are not able to implement these legislations to the best interest of the people for whom these legislations are made. This is because people are not aware about these legislation. Even if people know a bit about these legislation, they are not comfortable in approaching these commissions, because they are struggling for bread and butter. So if you have to just go and sit somewhere outside a police station or outside a SSP office or outside a commission, then how will you earn that day's bread and butter for your family? But we have online mechanism system for all these commissions. But how many people are educated in India is a big question. Then this online mechanism is only available in English. And today at this platform, I would really like that when we say that legal education is very low in India, when we say that people are uneducated, illiteracy rate is very high in India, and illiteracy rate also talks about reading and writing. This should be the basic for any system to work, and not the criteria of deciding that okay, this population is literate and this population is illiterate. Because at this point of time, when we are talking about fifth generation of human rights, then we cannot say that the first two generations of human rights are not available to the citizens of India. So we have very good legislations. We have Constitution of India to protect oneself from the traffickers, from people who are violators of law. But still we have evidences and statistics by the National Crime Records Bureau that violations are taking place each day, each second. So somehow we are not able to materialize all these legislations into practical applications. Somehow we are not able to do justice to the people, because justice delayed is justice denied. So if the judicial mechanism can be improvised and the justice is delivered in no time. When I say no time, it cannot be that media giving the justice or police officer giving justice. Justice has a proper procedure to follow. Till you give justice as per the procedures of the CRPC, as per the provisions mentioned in Indian Evidence Act and IPC, you cannot say that justice has been done. So we have a criminal justice administration system. So justice should be according to that, and no other form of justice can be said to be done in real sense, because we are overpopulated, we are uneducated, we are unaware, we are vulnerable. So vulnerability is a big factor which can make you vulnerable to the situations, and if out of circumstances and situations, if you commit a crime, then there is an entire system in place. So you have to follow the system. When we talk about speedy justice, it means that the courts should have more judges. So you empower the judges with more numbers, you empower the judges with more support staff, because the staff is very less in every court. You talk in terms of improving the infrastructure at the court level, and you talk about technological interventions while delivering justice. So use of technology to record the evidences, use of technology to take the evidences of the witnesses, use of technology for medical examination and for discussing the reports of the doctors, use of technology for typing the if technological interventions are there in even filing the cases, then we can have a transparent system. You just file a case, you have all the records available. When did you file? When is your hearing? All the parties can see that and can be present in the court of law at the particular day. Similarly, you have to empower the entire police system. That needs a lot of reform. You cannot say that everything and anything under the sky is the role and responsibility of a police officer. So you have to fix his working hours. You have to empower them in terms of the infrastructure, the work environment. You have to empower them in terms of technological interventions. You have to empower them in terms of getting updated, upgraded, and providing them proper training. Training is very important in all these spheres because the crime changes, the modus operandi of the trafficker changes, the mindset of the trafficker changes, the new dimensions of crime is coming every year. So you can have a law on that, but you have to update the people so that the new dimensions are taken care at the time of reporting by the authorities or by the people. Then you need to upgrade the skill of the people and you need to motivate all these people. Then only we will find that the laws are implemented properly in India and justice is done to the victims and to the survivors of human trafficking. Bonded labor, child marriage, in these cases also you can approach National Human Rights Commission. Dowry death or its attempt, dowry demand, sexual harassment and indignity to women, exploitation of women. In all these cases, you can approach the National Human Rights Commission and the Women Commission also, the Child Commission in cases of child abuses. Then we have a Juvenile Justice Act also. So we have lot of institutions which are taking care of people who are vulnerable. But we are not able to approach these commissions, and somehow out of our ignorance, out of our vulnerability, we do not get justice and our rights are violated every day. So we have to raise our voices. Non-registration of complaints on denial of care by the kith and kin of older persons. human trafficking, abduction, sexual assault, murder or attempt thereof, corruption or any other criminal offense which is punishable under the law. So if you know you have these cases, you can directly approach National Human Rights Commission. So in cases of human trafficking, we have already said that you can directly approach the commission. Inaction on measures or denial thereof to provide basic civic amenities like drinking water, clean environment, health facilities, communication and transport, right to education, which is an legislation now, Right to Education Act, and a part of fundamental right under Article 21A, ration under public distribution system, right to food including malnutrition and starvation deaths and benefits under various social welfare schemes like Manrega, ICDS, old age pension, LGBT rights. So there is a gambit of schemes in the center and at the state level, but somehow people are not getting benefit out of these schemes because they are not aware. And secondly, are of a different state. I am staying in a different state, so the public distribution system does not reach me. Rights of the disabled and displacement on account of mega projects and environmental pollution. So in this case also you can approach NHRC, and we have a disability commission. Inaction on complaints on issues which requires preventive action to check unlawful activity, communal violence, public unrest, law and order situation from deterioration. So on all these points you can approach National Human Rights Commission. And who can file a complaint? A very important question. Can I file a complaint on behalf of you? Yes. A victim or any other person on a victim's behalf or on his own citing an incident of human rights violation caused by the inaction, commission, and omission thereof by the public authority. The commission can also take suo motu cognizance of any incident of human rights violation based on media reports. And I would just like to congratulate the commission, because it has taken, in this time also, the commission has taken suo motu action on various aspects of human rights violation and has intervened for the protection of the rights of the people. And media and NGO can play a very important role, and small students can play a very important role, whatever age you may be. But if your human rights are violated, if your parents' human rights are violated, then do approach National Human Rights Commission. What are the complaints which in normal cases are not entertained by NHRC? Any complaint, which the incident happened a year back, but today I decide that I want to file a complaint. But if I have a valid reason for filing it after 1 year, then I can justify the commission that I was not well, I was in the hospital, or maybe I was under the trauma, I was suffering psychologically, I was not to the level of filing a complaint. So if I can justify my delay, then I can file. Otherwise, after 1 year of the incident, I cannot file a complaint to NHRC. Issues which are sub judice. Sub judice means already before the court of law. So if any matter is before a court, a national or state commission, or which are independent of NHRC, are not under it. So if you have a service matter and it is under the organization, then you cannot just complain, because under one commission your complaint is already there. So let the commission take action, let the inquiry finish, and then if you feel, then you can complain. complaints which are vague, anonymous, pseudonymous or frivolous in nature, wherein no human rights violation is made out. So today I sit in the morning and I think that, okay, I have to just write a complaint to NHRC. So if it is anonymous, it is vague, it is frivolous in nature, then NHRC will not entertain my complaint, because in India with so much of population, there are a lot of gross violations of human rights. So for the commission to work and to reach out to the real person, to the real victim, it is very important that these kinds of complaints are not entertained and the time of the commission is not wasted in frivolous complaints. A complaint which pertains to service matters other than the pension, family pension, retirement benefits, denial of wages, which we have just discussed. Complaints which pertain to property and other civil disputes, including matrimonial family disputes. So, you have a family court, we have a different mechanism, a civil jurisdiction system. So, if it pertains to your property or you have any civil dispute, then you should not go to NHRC. How to file a complaint, a very important thing, I do not have to become a legal expert or take a legal expert help in writing my complaint. I can just take a simple piece of paper, A4 sheet of paper. It can be plain, it can be a torn away paper from a register or from a copy. So the NHRC does not charge any fees for the registration of complaint. The complaint can be written in a simple paper and it can be sent by post to NHRC directly. You have to just write your name, your signature, the details which we will just discuss after a few minutes. So you have to just write the complaint and send it by post. It can be an ordinary post, it can be a speed post, it can be any kind of postal service which we can use. Then we have a benefit of filing online complaint also on the NHRC website www.nhrcnic.in. So if you want to file an online complaint, then you can also file an online complaint on the website. The positive point is that if you know English, then you can file an online complaint. The negative side is that if you do not understand English and you do not have a person near you who can file your complaint on the internet, then you have a limitation of writing the complaint and sending it to NHRC by post. However, if a complainant takes the service of a village level entrepreneur operating the common service center to write and send the complaint through common service portal, he may require the fees of 30 rupees. Because you are hiring a person, you are taking help of another person, so that person will be charging you and not the commission. The complainants are provided information of the registration and progress on their complaints, including final disposal on their given address for correspondence. So whenever you mention your address, do ensure that your address is correct, because NHRC or the State Commission for Human Rights will always contact you at the address which you have mentioned. Information is also sent on mobile number and email ID of the complainant if that has been provided. So if you have mobile and email ID, then do mention it in your complaint so that the correspondence will be speedy. On this website, when you file a complaint, you have to ensure that you have to select incident state. So there is a column wherein you have to just click on that. different buttons will come. So just click on the respective state where the incident has happened. So this is a format which is already available on the online complaint platform on the NHRC website. So when you just go on online complaint and click it, then you have to click the state, then you have to click whether you want to submit your complaint to NHRC or SHRC, State Human Rights Commission. Then you will verify your mobile number by OTP. So once you just write your mobile number, they will send you an OTP. So it is a system generated format where the OTP will come and you will just type your OTP and your mobile number will be verified. After successful verification, you have to fill the mandatory fields which are available on the next screen. And once you write your complaint, then just click on the preview button to see whether you have mentioned each and every details under the online complaint mechanism system. Then you have to upload your documents if required. Whether you want to show victim and complainant name on the website or not, you have to give an option. Then you will be getting a unique diary number once your complaint is successfully submitted. By that unique diary number, you can always see the status of your case. So you can track your complaint status, and the pointers which are marked as mandatory fields need to be filled, then only your submission will be complete. So you have to use Internet Explorer with pop-up allowed. Even on the mobile we can do the complaint. And the limitation which I just said was that you have to fill it in English language only. So you need to know the language. What details you will mention in the complaint? Your name, the complete name. So my name is Dr. Mansi Sharma. So I will write my complaint name properly. So I will just not write Mansi. I will write Dr. Mansi Sharma so that the complaint name is mentioned properly. My sex, then my address, the complete address, the state to which I belong, the district, the PIN code, email ID and mobile number. And if you have a mobile number, then do give your mobile number, because they will be able to inform you about the status of your case, and if any query is needed, they will be able to contact you by the mobile and email. It becomes a faster mode of communication. Then victim's detail, name, address, state, district, sex, PIN code. So it is very common, it is not something very complex. Anybody can fill. If you know the victim's name, if you do not know the victim's name, then you cannot fill it. So if you know the address, the state, district, sex, PIN code, then you can just fill that. Disability, age, religion and caste. If you know the victim's detail on these parameters, then also you just click on these and mention the details. Incident details are very important, the place where the incident took place, the state, the district, the date of incident and the category of incident. So there are different categories mentioned. So you have to just click on that. Incident subcategory, you have to just click on that. Complaint, if it is filed before any other court or State Human Rights Commission, then you have to mention the details. Then the relief detail. Relief detail is very important. The name, designation and address of the public servant, because you know, if your human rights have been violated by a public servant, then you have to mention that. Then the relief sought. Relief sought is also very important, you know, because you need to clearly write what kind of relief you want from the commission. And this is the NHRC toll-free number 14433. So do remember about this number, and I will be also telling you few other numbers to contact NHRC. If you want to just search your complaint status, you have to just click on this link, and this is available on the NHRC portal. So just visit the NHRC website. You will have the complaint button there. On the complaint section, if you click, you also have this searching complaint status link. So you had your unique ID. If you click on that unique ID, you will get your complaint status. And this is how that looks on the website. So when you visit the NHRC website, you have to just enter the details under these columns, and then if you click, you will get the status of your complaint. How many cases have been registered in a year? That can be checked under this link. So if you just click on this link, you will see a portal like this. So you just fill in the details, and then you will find the cases registered in NHRC or the complaints filed in NHRC. You know how many suo motu cases are registered by NHRC? If you want to check the detail, you can just click on this link. So if we click on this link, then you will get the details of cases which NHRC has registered on its own. And this is how you can see. So it is very informative for anybody who wants to know more on NHRC, because you know, when you say that something has not been done, somebody is not working properly, then you have to update yourself and know whether that commission is working or not, and with statistics and data you can only talk to people. So this is how you can find the details of the suo motu cases. To know your case status, what is the status of your case? You can just click on this. So what is the status? Where has it gone? What is the level of pendency? This all can be known from clicking on this. Madad is a platform of NHRC, you know, where if you need help, you can just call on these numbers. You can write an email to them. Then to track status, you can just click here. Then you know, you have complaint number of law division, administrative division and investigation division. So you know, you can only complain at the above numbers, that is 246513330 and 246633333. So in cases where human rights are violated, you can complain, you can call on these numbers and find out details if you need any help from NHRC. You know, the focal point for human trafficking cases in NHRC is Srimati Mansi Saini. She is in DIG there, and she looks after the human trafficking cases. So in NHRC, if you want to contact somebody related to a trafficking case where your human rights are violated and you are a victim or a survivor of human trafficking, then you can contact DIG Srimati Mansi Saini in NHRC. In the end, I would just like to say that the complaint mechanism is very simple. You have to just give your details, the details of the incident, the details of the victim, the details of the person who has committed the offense if you know, and the public officer whom you should, who was duty bound to do something and he has not done. So if you are able to provide all these details to NHRC by post or on the online platform, then NHRC will take immediate action and will investigate. During investigation, if it finds that it needs to have some more papers from you, some more evidences from you, then it will ask. Otherwise, they will take the matter and they will just investigate, and with the report they will send it to the concerned state to investigate or to give information, and on the basis of the information received from that state or from that institution, from that organization, they will get their officers along with the inquiry. They will provide you the report and the status of your case. So it is an entire mechanism where people work efficiently. It is just that we have to trust these people and we have to reach out to these people. I am a victim of human trafficking, and if I do not know how to approach NHRC, then there is a difficulty. So be aware about your laws, about your rights, about your surroundings, and be safe. Have a safe day and stay blessed. Thank you for listening this session.